Hi everyone, and welcome to Useful Psychology. Today we're going to be talking about the reason we suddenly become expert cleaners or chefs when we have a looming deadline, or why we spend hours organizing our sock drawer instead of tackling that big project. Yes, procrastination. Procrastination is something that affects us all, but understanding the psychological reasons behind it can help us overcome it and achieve our goals. According to Joseph Ferrari, a professor of psychology at DePaul University in Chicago and author of Still Procrastinating, the No Regret Guide to Getting It Done, around 20% of US adults are chronic procrastinators. No matter how well organized and committed you are, chances are that you found yourself frittering away for hours on trivial pursuits, like watching TV, updating your Facebook status, or shopping online, when you should have been spending that time on work or school-related projects. Procrastination is like a sneaky little monster that hides in the corner of our minds, waiting for the perfect opportunity to pounce. It's a habit that can be tough to break, but the first step is to understand why we do it. Fear of failure. The fear of failure is a major reason why many people procrastinate. It's natural to want to avoid failure, but this fear can become so intense that it leads to us putting off tasks or even avoiding them altogether. We might worry about not living up to our own expectations or those of others, or we might be concerned about the consequences of failure. Unfortunately, this fear of failure can actually make things worse. When we procrastinate, we often feel a sense of guilt or shame, which can increase our anxiety and stress levels. This in turn makes it harder to get started on the task at hand and increases the likelihood of failure. If you find yourself procrastinating because of a fear of failure, know that you're not alone. But don't let that fear hold you back. Take small steps towards your goals and focus on progress, not perfection. Remember, failure is a natural part of the learning process, and the more you practice, the better you'll become. Lack of motivation. Lack of motivation is a common cause of procrastination. We might feel overwhelmed by a task, lack interest in it, or simply feel like we don't have the energy to get started. The problem with the lack of motivation is that it can become a self-perpetuating cycle. We put off a task because we don't feel motivated, but then the longer we put it off, the less motivated we become. Before we know it, we're stuck in a state of inertia, feeling unable to take action. But here's the good news. Just like with fear of failure, there are strategies we can use to overcome lack of motivation. One of the most effective is to simply get started. Once we begin work on the task, we often find that it's not as daunting as we thought it would be. And as we make progress, our motivation naturally increases, making it easier to keep going. So if you're struggling with procrastination due to lack of motivation, remember that taking that first step is often the hardest part. But once you get started, you might be surprised at how much easier it becomes. Another common cause of procrastination is poor time management. When we feel like we don't have enough time to do everything we need to do or struggle to prioritize effectively, it's easy to put things off. But the reality is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about having more time. It's about using the time we have more effectively. This means being intentional about how we spend our time, setting priorities, and breaking tasks down into manageable chunks. One effective strategy for improving time management is to create a schedule or to-do list for the day. This can help us stay focused and make sure we're making progress on the things that matter most. It can also help us identify areas where we might be wasting time, so we can make adjustments as needed. By being intentional about how you spend your time, you can make progress on the things that matter most, and avoid getting stuck in a cycle of procrastination. Procrastination is a common behavior that many of us experience from time to time. It's important to note that procrastination itself is not a mental illness. However, in some cases, it may be symptomatic of an underlying mental health condition, such as depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. If you find that your procrastination is having a serious negative impact on your life, it may be worth considering seeking help from a mental health specialist. They can help you to identify any underlying issues that may be contributing to your procrastination and develop strategies to overcome it. Depression, for example, can make it difficult to find motivation and energy to complete even simple tasks. OCD may cause an individual to become overly fixated on small details, leading to difficulty in moving forward with larger projects. And ADHD can make it challenging to stay focused and organized, leading to procrastination as a way to cope with overwhelming demands. If you suspect that an underlying mental health condition may be contributing to your procrastination, don't hesitate to reach out for help. A mental health professional can help you to better understand your behaviors and provide you with tools to manage your symptoms and move forward with your goals. And remember, overcoming procrastination takes time and practice. But by implementing these strategies and making a conscious effort to change our habits, we can break free from the clutches of procrastination and achieve our goals. So the next time you find yourself procrastinating, take a deep breath, remind yourself why the task is important, and take action. Your future self will thank you for it.